Hello, San Diego. Thanks for joining us here on CBS 8 Plus. I'm meteorologist Shawn Styles with a look at your weather. And who says we don't get weather in Southern California? The past 2.5, 3 days have been very, very impressive as far as the rainfall totals. Thankfully, not a lot in the way of wind. We did have some wind pick up a little bit, but not a big windstorm along with the rain. But we saw some impressive amounts of rain. We're still seeing some scattered showers across the county right now, mainly in the foothills where we're starting to see that moisture come in, and then as it lifts to be pushed up over the mountaintops, the atmosphere is being squeezed, and as it's squeezed, it releases some of the precipitation. Although we did see rain even out to the coastline this morning, anywhere from a couple 100ths to maybe 1/10 of an inch came down at some point in time. And speaking of rain coming down, look at these rainfall totals. I could just go on and on and on. Virtually everyone, with the exception of La Mesa and Borrego Springs, came in at over an inch. Some of the bigger numbers: Fallbrook, 3.31 inches, Palomar Mountain, 2.68 inches, Lake Cuyamaca, 2.35. Even out in Ocotillo Wells, they got 1.15 inches. Downtown San Diego, 1.43 inches. So lots of rain coming down. We're going to get a little break in the action right now as another storm starts to come into our forecast. So that's why we have a weather impact for tomorrow afternoon into Tuesday. The bulk of this rain will come in overnight Tuesday and into Tuesday morning. Showers will linger throughout the day. This again will bring some of that subtropical atmospheric river moisture, but nothing like we saw. What it will bring, though, is colder temperatures, and with those temperatures dropping down, snow levels could get down to 6,000 feet. That means snow in the San Diego mountains, so that's kind of fun to think about. As you look at your forecast in the inland microclimates, we cool down and the storm approaches on Monday. Tuesday, it's much chillier than it's been for the past couple days, and then we start to warm up and dry out, at least for one day, because there's another storm in the long-range forecast. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Current temperatures were mid-60s along the coastline. Once you get inland a little bit, places like Ramona and Alpine, upper 50s to low 60s. Hummel also at 62. Mountains, not cold enough for snow, but definitely chilly up there. Low to mid 40s, although Mount Laguna at 39 and Borrego Springs at 66 degrees. This is a live look from Mount Soledad, so you can see the unsettled atmosphere out there, clouds moving on by. It has scrubbed the atmosphere of any type of particulates that are out there, so we can see well into Mexico. Quite a view for this from this perspective. 66, the winds are southwest at 11, so that's also helping keep the atmosphere very, very clean. Now, as far as surf is concerned, I'm putting this up, but I'm going to recommend that you don't go surfing. I just want you to recognize that there's some pretty powerful waves out there, and there's a ton of bacteria in the water. The storm drains have all been flushed, and all that stuff that's been sitting there for months and months and months, and there's a lot of pets around here, so you get what I'm talking about. That all got flushed out into the ocean, and so needless to say, there's a lot of bacteria. Give it at least another 24 hours, but then that next rain is expected to come in. You need the sunlight to get down into that water, and the UV rays kill the bacteria. 63 in Los Angeles, along with Monterey, 61 in San Francisco. Mammoth, they're seeing snow, anywhere from, say, 4 to 8 inches of snow has fallen over the past 24 hours. So they'll get those snow guns fired up, and with this colder storm coming in, they'll start to make some snow, and Mother Nature will help things out. Here's what's happening in the atmosphere right now. The instability, the low is moving out. Here's the next storm as it digs south, and these mottled clouds, that's the colder air that's sliding in with that. So let's watch what's happened here. This is Monday early in the morning. There's our storm that pushed on through. Here's that next storm, the one I just showed you, working its way down the coastline. Notice how the jet stream is associated with this, and it's pulling cold air down out of the Gulf of Alaska. That settles in by Tuesday, so we see widespread rain, not as heavy, but colder, so snow in the mountains. That'll bring snow into the Sierra Nevada down to about 5,000 feet, locally down to 6,000 feet. So we'll definitely see snow in the Big Bear Lake area, as well as the tops of our local mountains. That kicks out, and yet again, another storm pulls through. That's on Friday, and into the weekend. By then, though, high pressure builds in. We could start to see a little bit of an offshore flow by the time we get to the weekend as high pressure settles in over the west. Here's a look at the forecast Doppler radar as we take a look at things over the next, say, basically 24 to 36 hours. And you can see the heavier rain coming in the evening on Monday and then pushes through overnight and into the morning, and we stay unsettled throughout the day on Tuesday. Some pretty powerful cells moving through, and this will be the case throughout the day on Tuesday. Eventually, that will push on out and will dry out just a little bit as we get into Wednesday. So weather impact in place Monday, Tuesday, basically the second half of Monday into Tuesday, both coast, inland, the break in the action, and then it looks like more rain working its way into the forecast Thursday into Friday, and then we dry out as we get to Saturday and Sunday. But more rain and possibly snow in the mountains. Also, the deserts, you'll see some windy conditions. Maybe not rain there. You'll dry out, and then that storm on Friday looks to be a little bit more powerful than what we'll see on Tuesday. That's a look at your weather.